Not even a week into hardcore wipe, and BSG is already folded like a deck of cards. No Unclear 7 can't even decide who's more pathetic. The one player base who doesn't want to go to transits, or BSG who's catering to them. Everything was eventually supposed to get rolled out. Like Nikita even says it over here. You know, he says, we will gradually switch on features like traders, LLs, locations, and everything to simulate and slow down OG gameplay of EFT. Like this post if you're enjoying this ride. To which, 7.2 thousand people actually liked it, you know? And I gotta say, at the very start of Hardcore, things were looking pretty good. Now, there was definitely some issues, though, of, like, how the way things were going, you know? There were some glitches, some bugs, some kinks that needed to be worked out that they didn't have resolved on day one. And it's so Tarkov wipe, so, there's always kinks and glitches and bugs that they need to resolve on day one because they don't play their game, and, BSG doesn't exactly know what they're doing. We've suggested multiple times that we check BSG for a gas leak, but nobody's done it yet, so whatever. So amidst all these glitches and bugs, Nikita says yesterday, we are actively working on crashes issue and loading times of transits. If you don't want to take a risk with transits, don't use it for now. It's like, okay, but there's only 3 maps. So what are those players who don't want to do the risk and stuff, what are they gonna do? And there was some bad stuff happening, Pleminek. Like, it kind of sucked. Like, I can honestly, like, we joke, okay, these people, they're whiny, but at the same time, it's like, it's a valid criticism because people were spawning in groups together. The transit time was taking way too long. It wasn't working out the way that they wanted it to work out. Now, Nikita said this in response to Karan's suggestion, which is the problem with forced transits is the difficulty increase. I think most of us love Tarkov for its hardcoreness. It's something else. Loading and waiting times, the uncertainty, will it crash? It makes some of us feel like our time is not very appreciated. And he's right. A lot of people were feeling like, man, these guys are just, they don't even care. They throw us in a hardcore. They didn't even have the hardcore thing ready. It didn't even work right. Valid criticism. Kren totally nailed it with that one. And so Nikita's response to that was pretty reasonable. Now, Nikita made this post at 2:18 p.m. And there was a pretty big discussion about it, a lot of people had mixed feelings about it, to which Nikita eventually did respond at 2:56 p.m., where he said, switching all the maps. Now, if you know Unclear 7, we like our calc, right? We go pull up the calc, and we go, what's 56 minus 18? It took him 40 minutes to decide to turn all the maps on, it folded pretty quick. Right? Now, it's definitely a bummer because this could have led to a different way of playing. Like we saw over here, this was a suggestion on Reddit. Make all the maps function like labs cards. And it's like, oh, interesting. Yeah, the terrain maps, that could be used as like a go anywhere. Like a go anywhere ticket, and then you could have individual maps, right? And he elaborates, this guy, Kud Baba, or whatever, he elaborates on this idea here. I'd post this on the Tarkov community, but they disabled that. The premise behind this idea is, in the game maps, custom reserve shoreline, give them a purpose. For example, if you find a reserve map in-game and extract with it, it'll act like a labs keycard for labs. It will give you the ability to load directly into reserve. Like if you found a reserve map, you can go straight to reserve with that map. The larger topographical maps could then use the ability to rival to any map except labs for a specific amount of uses. Like, you get your aluminum splint, it got 3 or 5 previously uses or whatever. All credit belongs to Deadly Slub for this. I just expanded a bit. He has an excellent video eloquently describing frustrations behind this wipe. Yeah, so you can go check out Deadly Slub's video on this idea. And I think that would have been really cool. It does seem like a bit of a missed opportunity for some new creative gameplay styles. But whatever, it is what it is. How are you liking the hardcore wipe, Pleminek? Are you having fun with it? Do you hate it? Or if you decide, like, you're checked out, you don't even want to play, let us know in the comments down below. We'll read your comments on the next live stream, we live stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 7:30 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, Pleminek. So if you're on the East Coast, plus 3 hours from that. If you're enjoying the hardcore wipe, if you like it, go ahead and like the video. And if you aren't enjoying the hardcore wipe, give the video a like anyway. Help Uncle 7 out. Defeat the algorithm, We're getting past these hurdles. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Which means, hey, if you subscribe as well, you'll be one of the few people who can say, hey, I was a subscriber first, Pleminek. I was back in the OG days. This is still the OG days. Once we're past 1,000, that's not the OG days anymore. We'll call it something else. And we're trying to build infrastructure here, so be sure to leave your mother's credit card information in the details down below as well, or DM it to us on the Discord, which you should definitely join, by the way. Discord whatever, the link is somewhere around here. But that's it for this one, Pleminek. Thanks for watching our Skate from Taco video, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Hey guys, Operator Red here. Just one last thing that Uncle 7 forgot to mention. Go ahead and check out our sponsor, FHFKS.com. Over there on their website, you can find all of their great products, like their patches. You got Oksana, Doug, Dimitri, Patty, and Oscar. And then you can also go ahead and follow them on Instagram. We'll see you there.